Venus is Earth's evil twin. Its surface temperature is hot enough to literally melt solid lead. The thick clouds constantly rain sulfuric acid, and the crushing atmospheric pressure is 90 times heavier than Earth. It is a literal hellscape. Welcome back to Galaxy Hoppers. Today, we explore the sheer brute force insanity of the Soviet Venera program, the armored probes that were crushed mid-air, and the billion-dollar irony of a melted camera lens cap. During the absolute height of the Cold War, the Soviet Union decided they were going to achieve the impossible. They wanted to land a fragile robotic probe on the surface of Venus. It was an engineering challenge unlike any other in history. Early Soviet probes didn't even make it to the rocky ground. The crushing, dense pressure of the Venusian atmosphere was simply too much. The extreme gravity imploded them mid-air, crushing heavy metal hulls like cheap aluminum cans. Soviet engineers quickly realized they weren't building standard, lightweight spacecraft. To survive the descent into Venus, they had to build deep-sea submarines meant for the sky. They designed massive, heavily armored spheres. The new spacecraft featured extreme pressure seals and reinforced titanium. But the melting heat was another massive problem. To capture a photograph of the alien surface, they had to design camera lenses that wouldn't instantly liquefy. This required intense, revolutionary materials engineering. They packed the heavy probes with complex internal liquid cooling systems. This was done just to buy a few agonizing minutes of survival before the delicate electronics melted. It was a desperate race against total, fiery destruction. The intense engineering finally paid off. When Venera 9 touched down, it survived the hellscape for just 53 minutes. But in that brief, melting window, it made incredible history. It successfully captured the very first image ever taken from the surface of another planet. The image revealed an eerie, bizarre world. Because the atmosphere is so incredibly thick, light actively bends around the planet. To the cameras, the horizon looked warped, making it seem like the probe was sitting at the bottom of a massive bowl. Later missions even included microphones, capturing the terrifying deep roar of the dense Venusian winds. Years later, the Venera 14 mission successfully landed perfectly under the bizarre yellow sky. It was meant to deploy a spring-loaded mechanical arm to test the alien dirt. The arm was designed to measure the compressibility of the soil. But an incredibly ironic billion-dollar mistake occurred. The protective lens cap popped off the camera to take a clear photograph of the surface. But in the thick, soupy atmosphere, the heavy cap fell weirdly. The titanium cap landed directly underneath the mechanical testing arm. The probe blindly triggered its primary sequence to test the ground beneath it. The mechanical arm struck downward, completely missing the alien soil. Instead of testing the alien dirt, the multi-million-dollar probe spent its brief melting life perfectly measuring the density of its own discarded lens cap. It was a heartbreaking error on an otherwise completely miraculous space mission. If you enjoyed this deep dive into classified space history, please follow and subscribe. Share this with a friend so we can keep uncovering these forgotten cosmic stories. And until next time, stay curious.